There's the 997 in the background. One more week left here before I go back to London, so limited time. Let's just get that in picture. There we go. Limited time to be driving the 911. So today let's have a Porsche chat. Good morning everyone, good morning. It's Thursday morning in Sydney, Australia. One more week in Australia before heading back to London, so limited time with the 911 until next time. If you haven't been to my channel already, my name is Michael Barth. Today we're going to have a Porsche chat. Porsche chat I used to do a lot. I sort of haven't been calling them Porsche chats, but I'm going to start calling them Porsche chats again. I guess today it's about Porsche ownership. I mean, Porsche ownership, I've had a lot of comments from you guys about how I've helped your 997 journey and helped you decide on buying a 997. I guess when you buy a 911, you have to be thinking of certain things. Good afternoon everyone, I'm back. I started filming that video this morning when I was out and about, and of course I didn't take a spare battery and my Canon G7X battery died. I didn't want to shoot it on the iPhone because sometimes the iPhone, the quality is not great. I have the 7 Plus. 7 Plus, I'm not loving the video quality at the moment. I've been using Tasha's iPhone X, and the video quality, actually the stabilization, if you're really interested in filming on your iPhone, honestly, the stabilization is much better on the 8 Plus or the iPhone X. iPhone X is superior. It's actually really, really good. Anyway, I'm digressing. Yeah, so a bit of a Porsche chat today. I've just been thinking about, and I guess these are, I'll call them Porsche Life Problems. Porsche Life Problems. You know, I've been thinking about all the traveling that I'm doing, and you know, I'm back in Sydney at the moment, and I'm only really we're back for 2 weeks. We've been back for 1 week, and we leave next week, next Thursday. And you know, not being here, it's kind of crazy. Like, I've bought, you know, the car that I've always wanted. I've always wanted to get a 911, and I bought a 911, and I love the time I spend with it. But you know, not being here is kind of really weird, because I didn't want to have a 911 that I didn't do any miles on, that just sat there. You know, I'm gonna look after the car. I'm gonna wax it, I'm gonna polish it. You know, I like to keep my car pristine, which I hope it looks like that in all the videos, but I do like to keep it pristine. In saying that, it needs a wash at the moment. But I didn't want it to be a car that isn't driven. And you know, like, even since I've been back, I think I've only done 500 kilometers, which is, I don't know how many miles, 300 miles or whatever. So, I mean, I know it's Porsche Life Problems, we'll call them, but not being able to drive a 997. So if you're considering buying a 997, you have to think about that. If you don't have the time to drive it, have you got a good place to store it? If you have a good place to store it, then you have to have power. In Sydney, a lot of people live in apartments. A lot of people have houses, but a lot of people also live in apartment living. So, you know, you have to have parking. Luckily, I have parking. And then if you have parking, you have to have power, because you need to hook up your car to the trickle charger. There's no way you can leave a Porsche for 3 months or 4 months or 2 months if it's not on a trickle charger. So, you know, you have to think about these things when you're in the buying process. I guess I'm thinking about these things because I've had a lot of comments on YouTube and a lot of comments through Instagram about people saying that I've helped their 997 journey, which I said earlier. And I think there's a lot of channels out there that do that. I mean, I'm glad I'm one of those channels, and I hope this channel does actually, I mean, more than anything, just start a conversation with you guys and help people with the same things that I knew that I was asking for and I was trying to find out. Luckily, I had a friend who had a Porsche, so it was a little bit easier. But you know, it's quite daunting when you first go into Porsche ownership. You don't know what to expect. You think it might be a money pit. You're worried about all these things you read. You know, so this medium of having this YouTube channel, in a way, is my way of helping you guys in the same journey that I had, and then exploring more things in that journey. You know, I don't do repairs to my car, as I said before. There's lots of other channels. Well, not lots. There's a few good channels that do that, and you know, that's great. I mean, I'd just like to talk about Porsche and talk to you guys and talk about things that are happening with new models and configurations and things I'm doing on the 997. So I guess this is a Porsche chat today, but I guess in some ways it's also a little bit of a channel update. I mean, as you know from one of my earlier videos, I was going to do some mods, and the mods that I was going to do were the short shifter. What else? Short shifter. Obviously, to do something with the PCM unit. You know, I'm a big fan of keeping it OEM. You would have seen in my last video, the last drive video, my friend's GT3 has the Apple CarPlay unit. I think it's a Pioneer unit. I think he said it's very, very good. It has CarPlay. It works very well. It's a couple of years old now, but I mean, they make a really good CarPlay unit, Avic or something. Me, I think it looks great. Me, I just want to keep the original. I know it's ugly, but I want to keep that original PCM, as you know. So, you know, I still have to do that. I have to do the Bluetooth. But you know what? I was going to do it when I got back to Sydney, and there's just not enough time. You're back for 2 weeks. You get over the jet lag. You have 4 days to get over the jet lag. I'm always hit hard by jet lag coming back to Australia because really most of our time is spent in the UK, so I'm more acclimatized to that time zone. So you just don't have the time. So I haven't done any of the mods. I haven't done the short shifter. I haven't had it installed. I haven't done the Bluetooth. I am going to do the Mo Bridge, like I said before. Probably not the Denison or Dension or whatever it's called. Even though there was a really good special on bumper plugs, if anyone's looking for one through Renlist, it was really, really cheap. But I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do the Mo Bridge. So I haven't done any of the mods. So I can't do any videos about I'm installing my Bluetooth or I've had my short shifter installed because it still hasn't happened. Hopefully when I come back next time there'll be some more time, but the way that work is happening at the moment, I might actually have less time. So I have to think of another option to keep enjoying Porsche life. You know, I have to think of another means when I'm away to actually still be in touch with the car, and that whether that may be getting a car overseas or I'm not sure, but I have to do something about it. I have to do something about it. You know, and this is the other thing when you know, like we all do planning and we all plan about things, but like I said, if you're buying, shouldn't be traveling so much. Believe it or not, I've also considered possibly putting the car into proper storage in Sydney when I'm away. Now that depends on, there's a possibility we might be away from Australia even for longer periods of time. If that's the case, then I might actually consider putting it into, I think here Classic Throttle Shop has a storage, and I think Autohouse Hamilton has just started doing storage as well. So that's a possibility. That's something you have to think about. If you're not going to be, if you're going to be traveling and away from the car a lot, you have the opportunity to put your car in storage where they'll look after it. At the moment, I don't have a problem with storing it here. Like I said, it's being looked after by a friend and it's secure and there's not a problem. So I don't have any issues at the moment. But if I was away for a longer period of time, I'd probably think about putting it into long-term storage. The other thing that I need to do in the car, which I've noticed since I've been back, is, I mean, I wax my car quite a lot. I put a lot of, it's got lots of layers of wax on it. It doesn't have the ceramic coating. It has a ceramic coating on the wheels. The coating was put onto the wheels. But the paintwork has paint protection film on the lower part of the bumper, on the rear, and that's about it. It doesn't have paint protection film anywhere else. And I know the trend at the moment is to buy a new 911 GT3 and get it covered in paint protection film. And I think that's a good idea if you buy a new car. It still concerns me that the car doesn't have it on other parts. I can see why some people don't like paint protection film. I think the one on the bumper is slightly yellowing, but you don't really notice it. It's just in certain lights. But the thing is, I've noticed on the last time I was here and this time, I've got a couple of chips on the bonnet. So I'll have to get probably Dr. Color chip, which I'm sure you guys know, try and do that to get rid of the chips. After I've done that, I definitely am going to put some paint protection film on the bonnet. Now, whether it be Expel or whether it be Suntech, I said in the last video, it'll be one or the other. But the bonnet definitely needs to have some type of paint protection. The chips, you know, maybe it's just my eye because I've got a keen eye and I notice it, but they annoy me. And I think they're growing, there's more of them, and I think paint protection film will be good. I've noticed on the lower half of my bumper, actually where the stones have hit, you can see where it's you know, pierced, not pierced, but marked the film, but it hasn't actually marked the paintwork. So it's definitely a worthwhile thing that should be done. You know, years ago I had a motorcycle, and I always liked, I mean, a lot of things I didn't like about the motorcycle. I learned to ride on, I bought a bike, I learned to ride on it. It wasn't a really powerful motorcycle, it was only like a 250, 300 or whatever, due to regulations here with learning. But the one thing about a motorcycle which is really good is when you're on an open road and when you're going around the twisties, how much enjoyment there is. I have to say that in any other car you don't get that enjoyment. In a Porsche, if you watch my last video, when you're going through a mountain road or a twisty road, it really feels like you're connected to the road. It really feels like you are, it almost feels like you're on a motorcycle to me. You feel the same thing. Obviously you're not leaning as much, but the speed that you get, I mean, it's quite amazing how much grip a standard 911 has. You know, I know that a GT3 and whatever, they've got so much more grip with the sticky tires and the wing and the downforce. But it's quite amazing how much grip even the base 911 has on, you know, 295 rears. That's the best thing about a 997 if you're thinking about buying one. It's that connection that you get when you get into the car, and that connection just takes your mind away and it relaxes you. You're concentrating, you're thinking about it, but at the same time you get to the end of your ride, your drive I should say, you get to the end of the drive and you stop and you feel like you've experienced something that is special. And I think that's what it is about 997s and not Porsche 911s, is that feeling of being special. And just to say about being special, I felt really special driving over the Harbour Bridge yesterday. The sun is shining here, it's a very hot autumn, and then next to me I hear this rumble, and it's a GT3, and it's not just any GT3. Of course it has to be a 991.2 GT3. There's some footage here, actually, you'll see it now. But it's a 911.2 GT3. The owner was very nice, waved across to me. Absolutely beautiful, carmine red. I'm surprised about it, just that car is such a resolve shape. When you actually, I've never seen one on the road, I've only seen them on Instagram. I haven't even seen one in London. I haven't seen one in a dealer. I haven't seen one anywhere. And the carmine red I thought worked quite well. I'm starting to like the carmine red, actually. The wing seemed a lot more thinner or streamlined than I thought it was. It's bigger, but it just looks, the whole rear of the car looks resolved. It looks pretty special. It sounded pretty good. I think it was very, very new, but it had a great stance on the road, and I guess we call those Porsche goals, but it's something definitely to be inspired by and to work towards. Anyway, thanks for watching today. I've probably been rambling, but let's call this a Porsche chat. Till next time, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. If you turn on notifications, you'll get a notification when I upload a new video, which is a couple of times a week now. I'm trying to do more, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.